Loshak at. The bottles getting nifty up the crack and we stacking chips. All of it's what I want. Plus money winners, that's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated pub sports radio. Time to get educated, get produced. Leave the juice letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies wanna call a truce. They getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and low baggers in the chat. That's a lethal weapon 'cause we be pubbing.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. My name is Peter Loshak. Today is Tuesday, December 6th, and we're chugging along. We do this show every Tuesday. It's a lot of fun. Sometimes it's quite successful picks-wise. Other times less successful. Overall, pretty not bad success-wise as far as the picks are concerned. We always have a good time. Comment section always gives us invaluable insights and information. Today we have a relatively modest card, a pretty sizable NHL card, but just 3 NBA picks, and then we can throw in some discussion about college basketball if we want, if we have the time. We got Trotlab coming up at noon, so we got about an hour, noon Eastern time, so we got about an hour to talk NHL, and then if we get through that before noon, we can talk about college basketball a little bit. College basketball, I did hit the over in the Milwaukee-Chattanooga game, right? And I also hit the over in Oakland-Syracuse. Those are 2 college basketball bets I can tell you that I definitely made. Interesting stuff on the NHL card. Of course, we're seeing a lot of massive favorites day in and day out. Today is no different. Minus 250, minus 300, minus 400, all that shit. And, sometimes the big favorites are just no-brainer auto plays on the puck lines. Other times, the huge dogs are just no-brainer value plays on the other side. We'll see what Gogi has to say. NBA, only 3 games, thank God. But I'm thinking we'll talk about it when Trotwam comes on, and you guys can tell me what you think. But the Pistons have got to be a good bet, right? The Pistons not a good bet. Now they're on the road again, right? At home, they are maybe lose a little bit of their dog value, but on the road, they had a 6-game road trip recently. They covered 5 of those spreads. Now they're on the road again. Miami's coming back on a back-to-back, and the Pistons are getting 8.5. They got to be a good bet, right? I don't know NBA. I suck at NBA, but am I wrong? I mean, they got to be a good bet, right? Right? I know I look a little bit fucked up today, but that's good. Whenever I look good and the jokes are flowing, the picks are a little bit underwhelming. Whenever, I look fucked up and fucked up style jokes are flowing, the picks tend to do pretty well. So I think it's going to be a good show. We got Gogi coming up. And, let's check the comment section to see who's in the comment section right now. Here we are. Let's see what we got going on here. Shout out to Paco Healy, Nutflush Allen. Hell yeah. Paco Healy, Peter, you're going to be doing a bowl game breakdown section, not in today's show, but in future shows I will. And I am looking at bowl stuff. I haven't made any bets yet. I might have lost some, early line value. That's fine. But I'm doing what I'm doing, and I am going to cover bowls. Maybe I'll do a bowl or participate in some bowl video, bowl special stuff for Pub Sports Radio. But in today's show, no, I got nothing on bowls. I do have college basketball and, of course, the NHL and NBA stuff. Shout out to Colorado Bull. He says, good morning, Pete and my low bag family. Wanted to share my NHL looks for tonight's games, Ottawa and Florida under 6.5. Okay, well, that's not great to see. I think I took what did I take in that one? I can't even friggin' remember. I made a lot of bets on the overnight lines relatively in NHL. The Ottawa-Florida game, let me see. What did I take? Yeah. I think, that's not great. Well, we'll see what Gogi has to say. I did bet the over 6 at minus 131 on the overnight line. All right, Colorado. Well, maybe it'll land 6 and I'll get a push and you'll cash. We'll see what Gogi has to say. And if Gogi likes the under 2 and everything, then maybe I'll just pull my bet. I don't like to do that, but I do it sometimes. It's rare. You shouldn't do it, but I do sometimes do it. Not Flush Out says, Pete, you know what to do on team totals with massive dogs. I do know, Nutflush. I do know. I don't always do it, but I do know. In life, we know what to just listen to the one voice inside. We always know what to do in every moment, but we don't do it. We should, but we don't. Man, shout out to Nutflush Allen. Thank God you're in the comments section. Man, not flesh out with those friggin' team totals. Thank you for Minnesota a couple of days ago. I'm very curious, Nutflush, to see what you would have to say about all the team totals on today's card. There's a few that I bet. I bet like an under. I think I forgot. I bet one under 3.5. I can't even remember. I think it might have been Florida, actually. Yeah, I'll have to refresh my memory. Yeah, I bet the Florida team total under 3.5. Like minus 145. I don't know if that was a good bet or not, but let me know, Nutflesh Allen. And we get to that game. Everyone in the comment section, shout out to Paco Healy. Shout out to AO. I need to find a solid 3-leg NHL parlay I can play today. Anyone got anything they like? If you need 110s, maybe not. But if some big favorites are okay, yeah, I think there's some good bets. Probably Seattle. I don't know. We'll see what Gogi has to say. Go ahead. What?
Pete.
Yeah.
We should talk about the late breaking news. You're on fire, huh? You think
it depends on your definition of fire.
Contest, huh? Fucking coming on my territory now, huh?
We believe in jinxes here, Jose Bouquett. So,
yeah, I know you do.
I'm like, when you ask me if I'm doing well, I'm like a guy at the poker table. I'm just like, no reaction at all. I may be super excited inside. I may be terrified and horribly scared inside, but there's no way you're going to get any words out of me or be able to read anything off my face. The NFL Cappers contest hadn't even really noticed. I'm doing well in it?
Yeah. A little 5-0 week this week.
Okay. I think I do recall that. I think, yeah, that makes sense.
Now? Second?
Okay, if you say so. Yeah, I don't really. I'm sure you're right. I'm sure you're right.
All right. Well, I just wanted to inform you, I guess. That's the breaking news for you there.
Yeah. What he is referring to is the Cappers contest, which is super fun. Super fun. All contests are fun. This one is particularly fun. Hey, Jose Bouquett, come back in here. Maybe we should do some fun videos as in the home stretch of the Cappers contest. Like maybe do interviews with people who are in contention or whatever. Or maybe if you wanted, I could do like a review of who's in the lead and what they would have to do in upcoming weeks. Would that be?
Well, let me tell you, Pete. We do have the Cappers contest show on Thursday. That is also the show we do all the voting and stuff. So we can, Pete. What are you doing Thursday at 1?
At 1? Is that when it is?
Eastern. Sorry, it's at 1 my time, so it's 2 Eastern.
I might be able to get it off. Yeah, that might be. You could bring me on as like a guest.
I won't even tell Jimmy. I'll surprise Jimmy with you popping on.
Yeah,
for an interview.
That'd be fun, and you can ask me. I always wanted to be like a professional athlete and get interviewed and give non-answers and be like, "Wow, so you're the best athlete in the world. How are you feeling right now?" And just be like, "Yeah, I'm just trying to do my best, and hopefully I can help the ball club more. And I'm seeing the ball well, hitting the ball well, and I always fetishize. I always loved that. I thought it was the coolest thing ever.
That's gonna happen on Thursday, 2 p.m. We'll have you on. I'll send you the invite. We'll surprise you with it.
Yeah,
it'll be our
all right. It is fun. How are you feeling, honestly, Jose Bouquett? You were a few games in the lead, and now you're not in the lead anymore.
No, I've been horrible since the Jets-Patriots game where the Patriots returned that punt. Since that moment, I have been a disaster. I'll tell you that, Pete. I went 0-5 in the NFL Pub Up that week as well. That week, that Jets moment is just terrorized me, and I've been shit since then.
So what changed? I mean, what do you have any idea?
I have no idea. I don't know. The Jets rattled me mentally. I do bet on the Jets almost every week. They fucking were this close this week. It really hurt my feelings this week. But I don't know, really. I didn't really do anything different. What I am going to start doing every week is just keep fading the public dogs now because, as Jimmy always says, they lose at a high rate. Shout out to the Tennessee Titans, a very public dog that everyone liked this week, and they got their ass handed to. One in the college ranks that I was there in attendance for, UNT against UTSA. That was a very public dog. UNT came, and then at the end of the game, I was storming the field. So
very nice.
Point victory. So whatever.
You're still doing doing great overall in the contest, and it's very impressive, Jose Bouquett. So who knows what the upcoming weeks will bring.
And we still have one more month, Pete. One more month. You have to survive one more month. I
mean, when you got all these guys jammed at the top, 1-0-5 week, and forget about it, So it's like nothing is set in stone until the final week. It's a fun contest, though, Jose Bouquett. All right.
It is. And by the way, the chat, do not tell Jimmy about Peter coming on Thursday. No one told me about Pete on Thursday. That's a surprise.
And also because it might not happen. I got to arrange my schedule and make sure I can do it. But yeah, I think I'll be able to. I'm almost certainly I'll be able to. Right. Well, and we'll do some fun stuff. All right, Jose Bouquett. Let's start with doing some fun stuff with the NHL. How about that?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I may even put some hockey bets in. I lost I went big on an over yesterday, lost it. Haven't even looked at the score. Shout out to the Capitals. But I'm excited to hear this next person who apparently looks like someone from American Eye with his bushy eyebrows. So I'm excited. Oh, yeah?
Let's see. All right. Welcome to the show. Please welcome to the show our resident NHL expert, Mr. Gogster.
Hey guys, how are we doing today? It's a new month. The Gogster's here. I'm gonna get ID'd everywhere I go, that's for sure. But Peter, Jose, I'm right behind you guys too. Just a heads up, Mr. Gogster's 36.5, fourth place. So someone else is at the door.
Oh yeah, that's mostly luck though, right, Gogi? Or no? Or
well, come on, Jimmy, where are you when I need you? I've been doing pretty well last week, 2-3, but or 3-2, but looking for this Cappers contest. Getting it interesting. We got three guys at 36. There's a lot of people. Chris Brady, Trance, Ian Cameron. Shout out to Drug Monkey. He's first place here at 40. Yeah. So should be interesting.
All right. Well, Gogi's probably getting lucky in the NFL contest, but he's not getting lucky when it comes to NHL. That is skill, baby. So let's get into the NHL card. All right, Gogi?
Let's rock, baby.
All right. So first game on the card. Let's see what we can do here. It's a lot of these huge favorites, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Like 3/4 of the games today are those kinds of favorites. Chicago and New Jersey. Let's start with that. The biggest favorite on the board. On the overnight line, it was like minus 360. Now it's all the way up to minus 400. I'm seeing. Let me pull the money stuff. I got to get the money stuff. I don't have it right now. Hold on a second.
But money. Yeah, we got to have the money.
Yeah, New Jersey is still great. They're winning. They lost their last game at home, so they probably, are going to come back and again be like, all right, let's get a win on home ice. But it does seem like they're not quite getting margin wins game in and game out as much as they were before. Chicago's really bad, but they did win, as a huge dog 2 games ago against the Rangers. I don't think I'd have the balls to bet Chicago here. But I don't know if this is a game where the Devils are gonna win by a margin. Maybe Chicago plus 2.5 or even plus 3, even though it's a big favorite line, might be worth a shot. What's your take on this one, Gogi?
Yeah, I have a pretty big money line parlay I'm going to give out here on the show. One of the bigger ones I've given out probably all year. And the Devils, I had a question mark beat, but that one loss they had was against Nashville. Nashville are the best team in the league in the last 10 games. They're 7-2-1. Their penalty kill and their power plays, it's okay, but they're 7-2-1. This is a good hockey team they lost to. Then it was 3-2 against Philly, but they're pretty much healthy. Looking at the Devils here, other than Bastian, he's the only guy out. Special teams quickly here, 83%, 20% for the Devils. I don't think they should have any problem. Vanacek's going to be coming off some rest. That's the only. Sometimes that's a bad thing, Peter. If a goalie's, because he's been playing really well. He played a lot of games, and then last game went to Akira Schmid. He got the win against Philly. So he's coming off a loss, Vanacek. He needed a break. I didn't actually know he went against Philly, but a goalie coming off rest, he should be fine here against Chicago. Chicago's also missing a couple guys here, Pete. They're missing a Tenorti defenseman. Without Jacob Tenorti, I think that's a bigger piece they're missing. Lafferty's also day-to-day. And then Johnson is out. So there's a couple guys out too for Chicago. They lost against the Islanders the last game, beat the Rangers, lost to Edmonton 5-4. So they've been a little scrappy, but I think just top to bottom here, guys. How do you not? It's a money line parlay, so it's. I wouldn't talk you off at plus 2.5 though, just because it's really the goaltending. You never know what you're going to get from Vanacek here coming back. He should be fine though. It's a good spot with Chicago. They had Akira Schmidt going up against Philly, who's one of the weaker offensive teams. So I like what Coach Lindy Ruff's been doing here. So I'm going to throw this money line parlay in there. It's pretty high juice. I get you guys giving me slack on that, but I can see maybe an under here. Soderblom is not a sieve. I think he's actually one of the better goalies in the league, Peter. Not better, but he's up and coming. He's not as bad as – he's got a bad team in front of him too, but he's been okay. He's got a .906 save percentage, plus 0.49 goals saved above expected, though. There's a big one, big stat I love looking at. He's in the plus there, despite having a 3.21 goals against. So I lean to the under, especially if you can get a 6.5. I'm going to throw the Devils in there, moneyline parlay. Pete, I wouldn't talk you off the 2.5, but maybe a Chicago Blackhawks team total under, or just trying to pick some things out. I'm wondering what the Chats thinks of this one.
Yeah, so you really don't like the spot for Chicago then here.
Well, coming off that, whenever a team comes off a 3-0 loss, though, like they're going to put their best foot forward. I think, especially in the first period here, despite them missing some players. Maybe a no-goal first 10, but again, the Devils are just they're 8-1-1 their last 10. They're 24-5. So this is a really good hockey team. And they're not faking it either. This is a real good hockey team. So the line, it's pretty high. It's kind of ridiculous, but I'm going to throw it in a money line parlay. It boosts the parlay up by quite a bit. So.
All right. Well, we'll look at the comment section. We'll look at the money. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking if you're liking the under, that almost makes me like. I mean, Chicago plus 2.5 is just minus 131 at Pinnacle right now. You think the Devils get a margin win? I know I'm asking the same friggin' questions. Whenever I'm not sure about something, I'm always asking the same friggin' questions.
A margin win here, Pete. It wouldn't be out of the question. I like taking a look just quickly of who they've played here. So they beat the Rangers 5-3, Washington 5-1, Buffalo 3-1. Their last two games, though, they lost 4-3 against Nashville. Had your backup goalie in 3-2. They've actually been a heavy under trend. The last 10 games are 6-3-1 to the under. So defensively, this team's the real deal. And Chicago shouldn't do too much. The power play's been a little bit better, but top to bottom, I would lean to a Chicago team total under, Pete. I don't know about the plus 2.5. You never know, but Soderblom, he's about an average, but I think he's got some upside in the future here with Soderblom. So it's a tough game. The line's kind of, it is what it is. Yeah.
Okay, I don't want to spend too much time in it, but I really want to take Chicago plus 2.5, and I really kind of maybe the first
period. Can you get plus one maybe on the first period? I wouldn't mind that, to be honest, Pete. I think the first period they come out stronger, and also you got Vanacek, who hasn't played in a good while here. So first period, you never know. He could be a little. That's where I would say he'd be a little susceptible, if anything.
Or plus one is minus 262, but plus a half is minus 113. The money line is plus 219. The total is 1.5. Under is plus 123. All those are vaguely tempting.
I don't want to talk you off the 2.5, Pete. I don't mind it. The only worry would be maybe just second, third period. Just the Devils start just doing what they've been doing against all teams. They can score three plus goals, and they don't allow more than 3 goals really. So Right. I hear you. I hear you, Gogi. All right, hold on one second. I'm gonna do Blackhawks first period plus a half at just minus 113 as an official play. That's not too bad, is it, Gogi? First period, it's lower than what I would think, but for good reason, I think, to be honest here, Pete. Coming off that 3-0 loss, you got to think they're gonna. They're going to come up with a little bit of fight here. It's going to be their third game in 4 nights too, so legs light too is not probably good for Chicago. They've been allowing. Look at the goals against: 5, 6, 5, 7, 5, 2, 3. So,
right, is that fundamental? Is that something they can change? Or are they just going to get blasted again?
I had this team projected bottom 4 all year too. So, and then they got some injuries too. Tenorti, like I said, Lafferty, second, third liner. Mrazek's out again. So Soderblom, he hasn't looked as, I don't know who was in net for all these losses here, but obviously he hasn't looked. From what I see, though, the eye test, Soderblom doesn't look as bad. It's just he doesn't have much in front of him. But again, looking at Chicago, Pete, they're 7-3 to the over. So
yeah,
it makes me worry the Devils will do what they want.
According to the sites we look at, the Devils, despite being a massive favorite, do have a little bit of line value. According to the site we look at, it's not a pass, and it's not a little bit of line value on the Blackhawks. The Devils do have a little bit of line value and also taken about 80% of the tickets. The total is about split in both directions. Yeah, I should pass on Chicago. And if I was going to take them first period, I should probably just take the money line at plus 19. Can they score a goal in the first period? Can Chicago score a goal in the first period?
Just looking here quickly, Pete. Away they are, so they're 2-5-4. They've only led after the first once, but they push. So what? They're 6-5. You're 6-5 really. They've only lost 5 times. The other 6 they've either won or pushed. So it's just a team coming off a 3-0 loss. They're gonna put their best foot forward. I've seen it so many times. They're gonna skate. They're gonna come out. They should come out pretty strong here. 3-2 game 2 with their backup in. It was a very easy game. I wouldn't say easy game, but not like crazy 6-5. They didn't go up against Vegas or Boston. It was Philly. So and Chicago went up against a tough Islander team coming off a loss there, I believe.
You know what? This is why things get so much clearer for me when I'm talking these games over with you, Gogi. I was going to hold off that first period, but I'll take it. I'll make it official. And I won't. I mean, the Devils are so good. I won't take the first period money line. I'll just take Blackhawks first period plus a half minus 113. If they win it 1-0, all right. I could have gotten more, but go ahead.
I like that, Pete. Was that plus 113 or minus 113?
Minus 113 plus a half. Minus 113. Current line of Pinnacle. I will take that. See if anyone in the comments section. Okay. All right. And and Nut Flush Allen says, be careful with that Chicago. Thank you so much, Nut Flush Allen, for being in the comments section. Be careful with that Chicago team total under. Tread lightly. All right. So Nut Flush Allen, not expecting them to be necessarily tired. All right. We could talk about this for hours, but let's move on. Columbus and Pittsburgh, right? Columbus plays again tomorrow. Columbus generally been bad, but they are definitely capable of big dog wins. Last 6 games, they had 2 nice big dog outright wins. Pittsburgh, generally very good, won 2 in a row. But before that, they had lost 2 in a row. So, Pittsburgh generally very good, but they can lose. Columbus, generally bad, but they can get a win as a big dog. And Pittsburgh, of course, a huge favorite here. I was thinking, maybe over the play that I really like, which I actually did bet on the overnight line because I saw a little bit of off-market line, was the Columbus team total over. I got 2.5, and I think I only paid like minus 113 or something. So I'm thinking, don't slightly in over, slightly in Columbus, and Columbus team total over at 2.5 might be a good play. Pittsburgh, of course, their defenseman Letang had a stroke. They've won 2 games since then. Maybe the shine from that is wearing off a bit for this game, and if they don't lose, at least it'll be a little bit more lax defensively. What do you think, Gogi?
Well, there's some injury issues here with Pittsburgh. Crosby and Malkin day to day from what I'm seeing here. Let me just see if there's an update, but day to day it looks like still, Crosby missed it for illness. Same with Malkin, they're both ill, so Crosby and Malkin could be out for this game. That's you're foaming from the mouth almost as the Blue Jackets. You're going, guys, you're missing their top 2 guys possibly. This is our chance. They got a back-to-back against Buffalo tomorrow. You're starting your better goalie in Merzlikins over Korpisalo. So I like this play. I actually had it on the overnight. This is when I was a little skeptical on, but I'm going to pull the trigger now. It's Columbus on the first period here, Pete.
Yes, I was thinking that as well.
Plus 175 straight up on the first period. They got enough offense to score. If they're missing those top 2 players there, they're going to want to jump. I think it's just a perfect spot for Columbus. If they are missing those players, it's not every day you get those 2 guys out. They've got some players back. It's the same guys out, really. Olivier is the only guy day to day for Columbus. So I really do think Columbus here can put their best foot forward despite their record. And Merzlikins not, them not looking too good with Merzlikins. Yari, he's been fine all year. And their power play for Pittsburgh, too, is only 16%, 91% penalty kill, really good penalty kill, 30% power play for Columbus. And Columbus is coming off that 4-2 loss against Detroit. They beat Winnipeg, Pete, 4-1 at Winnipeg. That's a real good – if you can beat a team like that, in my opinion, and Connor Hellebuck, who's the top goalie, goals saved above expected, they got 4 against him. Then they lost against Detroit 4-2. So and then they almost beat Vegas, Columbus. They're 4-3. They lost to them. So this team's starting to play a little bit better. And I think this is a good spot for them. In a back-to-back, come out strong here. They could be missing Malkin. And I don't have a confirmation on that yet, guys. But if they're ill, I don't see them going. So I'm going to take this one comfortably here. Hopefully we can hit a nice plus 175 here, Pete. Columbus first period.
And how is Pittsburgh defensively in general?
Let's bring up the lineup here quick because I still think they're decent. Well, if you look at their penalty kill, it's 91%. So with their two defensemen, that's two defensemen, two forwards, more likely than not. Pettersson, Petrie, Dumoulin, Ruda, Oliver. It's not that bad. It's decent, Pete, in my opinion. It's just you're missing some offense without your two centermen there and Crosby and Malkin. You're going to have to really shake these lines up, and that's, in my opinion, that's going to lead to less offense for Pittsburgh too. So you never know. Even maybe a Columbus plus 1.5 in this game, I wouldn't mind. I think they're going to put their best foot forward here because Buffalo's not going to be easy tomorrow, Pete. That's a quick, fast hockey team.
All right. I'm going to give two official plays, Gogi, based on everything that I'm hearing you say. Columbus, team total over 2.5 minus 114. That's current line at Pinnacle. Columbus, team total over 2.5, over 2.5 minus 114. And my second play, a double up on Columbus. Columbus, -1 plus 469. Current line at Pinnacle. Columbus, -1 plus 469.
Whoa.
How about that?
There's a big there. Put him on the table. Peter Loshak. Holy shit. Hello. Yeah.
Catch me outside. How about that?
How about that, huh? Where's Bogelli now? Yeah, that's -1. I wouldn't. Yeah, wow.
I mean, look, when they win, they've had two big dog wins in their past 6 games. Winnipeg, they won by 3. Florida, they beat them. They won by 2. So if you're going to bet on a win, take the plus 470 line instead of the plus 270 line. I don't know. Does that make? Am I an idiot here? Am I being an idiot here?
Well, if it's a team that we can score too, you got the team total over, so I think it all kind of correlates there too. To be honest, yeah, I really do. Less offense out of Pittsburgh. It's kind of like the stars are aligning, and yeah, I don't mind that at all. I'll be rooting that one on, Pete. -1 plus 4. What was it?
469. Current line at Pinnacle. Rocco Rogers says, I'm thinking about hopping on Columbus money line too. Andrew G says, balls, Pete, put him on the table. I did. Mark Schillenberg says, Columbus has given us trouble in the past. We've been a little leaky this year. I love the team total over and that +1. So Schillenberg liking the +1. Let's take a quick glance at the money. An almost imperceptible but non-zero a little bit of line value right now on Columbus, according to this site that we look at, and that the totals are approximately split as well as of right now, although that could easily change. But as of right now, almost split on the total, and that's about it. A little bit of sharp action seems coming in on the under. That's just for now. That could easily flip. All right, and anything official from you? Oh yeah, right. Tell me what again your official plays were.
First period, Peter. I'm going to go plus 175. Columbus Blue Jackets.
That's what I was thinking as well, but I don't want to triple up. All right, next game, Detroit and Tampa Bay. This one I'm not sure about. I didn't bet this one on the overnight line. The lines look about on to me. Tampa Bay, of course, in general, playing well, mostly winning, coming off an OT win against Toronto, and Detroit coming off a win at Columbus. They had lost 3 in a row before that, but they had won before that, so Tampa Bay should be a big favorite here. How big, I'm not exactly sure. If this is one of those -300 lines, I'd probably be taking Detroit, but in the low 200s, not sure about that. Obviously, Tampa Bay should be a big favorite, and I have no opinion as of right now. You got anything on this one, Gogi?
Again, the injuries here. Glad I looked at the injuries. Bertuzzi, he's out again. So they just got Tyler Bertuzzi back. Now he's out, so that's definitely so whatever you've seen the last few weeks from Detroit, look at the last month or so, in my opinion, because without him, that's more what they're going to look like. Looking at Detroit, too, also Lindstrom, defenseman, he could be day-to-day. He might not be going. Looking at their offense, Pete, Suter, Rasmussen, Kubalik, Ernie, Kopp, Sundqvist, fourth lines, Joe Velino, Cernak. But then their top line, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of what I'm seeing from Detroit here. I know it's one guy in Bertuzzi, but I swear when they got that guy in the ice, this team just wins a lot more hockey games. Defensively, Seider, Sherratt, I don't mind their defense. Huso should be going, so he's the better of the 2 goalies. But this Tampa Bay team, they got one of the hottest power plays in the league right now, Pete. Last 10 days, it's humming at 41%. So nearly that's ridiculous. 41% the last 10 games. I don't see it regressing here because Detroit have a 73% penalty kill too in their last 10 games. Now, vice versa here, 72% for Tampa Bay, 28% for Detroit. So there could be goals, but the goaltending matchup here is I don't see as many goals with the goaltenders, Vasilevsky, Hughes. So I think we're going to see Vasilevsky only be getting better. Pete, I know we were hating on him a little bit earlier there, but They that win against Toronto, Philly 4-1, did lose against Boston, but let me just bring it up quickly here: 4-1, 4-3, 6-5, 5-2. I do think we're going to see it. They're trending in the right direction right now, Tampa Bay guys. They really are. And with Detroit losing Bertuzzi, they've also lost 3 of their last 4 to good hockey teams. But where I'm going with this, guys, it's going to be included in a money line parlay. I don't want to get cute with a -1 or a puck line here, Pete. I think that 104-3 against Toronto, that's a big win too, despite Toronto missing their defense. I think that's an important win for Tampa Bay. I just don't see them losing here. I see them getting on a roll here. The record's what? Where are you? The Tampa 15-8. So they got a solid record. But give me Tampa Bay. Better hockey team. No Bertuzzi. Total could be lower scoring, but the penalty. If we see some power plays, penalties. If we see some penalties here, that's where the goals could come from, especially with Tampa Bay. So. I'm going to trust Tampa Bay to get it done here, including in the money line parlay.
Okay, looking at the money, according to the site we look at as of right now, very, very tiny but non-zero line value on Tampa Bay, according to this website. Small line value, not a thumbnail, a little bit bigger than that, but still just a teeny bit. Most of the tickets coming in on Tampa Bay, most of the tickets coming in on the over as well, which surprised me a little bit. I was thinking maybe a shot with the under, and the line hasn't moved yet. So you're gosh, I don't feel like I have a good read on Detroit right now. Are they
I feel like I have had a good read on this team, Pete. Without Bertuzzi, they've lost to Vegas 4-1, 5-4 to Buffalo. That was a tough game. They blew 4-2. So they're beating up on the week. They beat San Jose, Columbus. Well, Nashville's a better team now. Arizona, but then lose to Toronto, Buffalo, Vegas, and Tampa Bay is up there with the top tier. So I think if they're taking too many, if they're getting in the box here, they're screwed. I think they're in deep trouble here. Expect at least a power play goal from Tampa Bay. How many at 40%?
Is Tampa Bay? Is this like a letdown spot after the big OT win against Toronto?
Well, who do they got coming up here? So then they got Nashville on the 8th on Thursday. They're in a big homestand, a huge homestand here. So that's an interesting angle there, Pete. Detroit's coming off that 4-2 loss, 4-1 loss. So they have, 4-2 win against Columbus.
It's just whenever a team is a big favorite, like you look down, like, they beat St. Louis as a big favorite, but that was off a loss to Boston. So they were pissed there. Again, they beat Washington as a big favorite, but that was off a loss to Washington back-to-back. They beat Buffalo as a big favorite, but again, that was off a loss to Carolina, and they were a -300 favorite. Their biggest favorite line of the year was against Philly at home, and they lost. That was early in the year. Philly was way overachieving and outperforming their valuation, but still, it just makes me a little nervous. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think Detroit's that good right now, Pete. I really don't. Like they did beat Columbus 4-2, but who was in net for that game? Was it Korpisalo? Was it Merzlikins? 4-1 loss against Vegas. I don't know, Pete. Just without Bertuzzi, you're going up against a team in Tampa Bay. I think this is not a team I want to fade right now. This is a team I want to bet on, despite them losing to Philly at a -300 early on in the year. I don't see any issues with this hockey team. The only team they've lost to, Pete, in the last 10 games was Boston twice. That's it. They beat Washington, Dallas, Calgary, Nashville, St. Louis, Buffalo, Philly, Toronto. They're battle tested. So hopefully this isn't a letdown game. They shouldn't have any issues with this one. So I don't think
I wanted to take Tampa Bay -1 at like -150, kind of no-brainer-ish, but it just like I started to get nervous the more I looked at it, the more I thought about it. Maybe I'll add it at the end of the segment. Dixon Snyder says the Anunnaki told him to smash the like button. Thank you, Dixon Snyder, and thank you. And he's asking, am I still an ambassador for the Anunnaki? Not officially, but I like them. They're cool. Definitely, they're cool. I'd be if they showed up at my front door any day, I'd be happy to see them. So,
they're welcome.
All right, I guess we'll move on. I really want to pull the trigger on Tampa Bay +1, but I'll hold off for now. All right, LA and Ottawa, next game. Finally, we have a line with competitive money lines. LA is kind of a tricky team. They're 2-2 in their last 4. But before that, they had been losing. But before that, they were on a nice winning streak. And Ottawa, of course, currently playing great, won 4 out of their last 5. And these two teams did meet on November 27th, and LA lost. So maybe LA has some revenge here for that one. I was thinking over. I did bet the over 6 on the overnight line at -131. Maybe that was too hasty, but I did. Over is the way I'd be leaning here. But early in the show, that poster, I forgot who it was, said that he liked the under. What's your take on this one?
Well, LA Kings, Ottawa here. Let's go right to special teams. The Kings here, I really do like the Kings here in a bounce back. I really do. That one game, remember, guys, 3-2, they lost to Ottawa, but they didn't have Velarde. Velarde came back the next game. It was like 9-8 against Seattle. He had 2 goals. This is a King spot, in my opinion, here, Pete. They're coming off that loss against Seattle 9-8. They beat Arizona 5-3. They lost to a good Carolina team. I don't care what people say. 4-2. Ottawa's beat San Jose. They did beat the Rangers. But this team hasn't been able to put wins together, Ottawa. And I think LA Kings, to be honest, I think they're just a better hockey team than Ottawa is. Injury-wise, they don't have anyone out really right now, LA, other than Iafallo. Ottawa here, where's Ottawa? They're a fairly healthy hockey team. They're actually missing Zub, so one defenseman's out. And also just going back to Columbus there, if Korchenko or something like, I believe his name's Korchenko anyway, if he's been called up for Columbus, that's another boost for that team. Sorry about that, guys. Just someone in the chat brought that up. But going back to this Kings-Ottawa game, I really do think this is a Kings spot here, Pete. 40% power play, 28% power play. So both power plays are humming. I actually have 2 plays on this one, guys. I am going to take the money line on the Kings. I really think this is just I think they're the better hockey team, and they lost 3-2 without one of their star players. And I watched that game. Ottawa, they looked okay. Talbot, definitely a bright spot for them, though, Pete. He's got pretty much a 9.20 save percentage, 0.4 goals against. So that is a bright spot for them. But defensively, them in Vancouver, they got problems. So with Ottawa here, I don't mind that over. I think there can be goals in the first period, though, with all that's being said. So I'm going to take a first period, both teams to score. It's at plus 140. So I'm going to double up here. Plus 140, first period, both teams to score. And I'm also going to take LA Kings here on the money line. I just think top to bottom, their 4 lines are just better than Ottawa here. That's plain and simple. Coming off that 3-2 loss too, they didn't play a good hockey game at home. So, and they're coming off a loss to the Kings 4-2 at home. Ottawa kind of feel good about themselves after beating San Jose 5-2. This feels like an LA Kings, even a team total over on the Kings. I think they do it, maybe not do what they want, but I think they win this game like 4-2, maybe even 5-3. I think this gets up there. I do.
All right. Do you think I made a mistake here on the over?
No, I don't. I don't, because Quick in this defense here has not been that good with Mikey Anderson, Doughty, Jersey Roy, Bjorn Foot, and Walker. Their penalty kill too, Pete, 66%. So it's, if they get in the box too, Ottawa with Chucky and with DeBrincat and Stützle there, they should have no problem. So I do think there can be some goals. The only worry would be is if somehow Talbot has a grace from God and he plays unbelievable here, because he can. But I don't. This spot here with LA Kings and only losing a week ago, or week and a half ago. Yeah. Getting Velarde's going to be back in the lineup. That's at least a goal, in my opinion, right there for the Kings back. So give me the Kings here. I'm comfortable with this one. Plus 100. Both teams to score first period. Plus 140.
All right, let's look at the money. As of right now, an extremely teeny sliver of line value on Ottawa, according to this site that we look at, but it's very teeny, and that could flip, of course. By the time puck drops, about half of the tickets are on Ottawa, but almost all the cash on Ottawa. That's interesting. So some huge bets as of right now coming in on Ottawa, and the line has moved about 5 cents in their favor since the overnight, and the majority of the bets as well coming in on the under. Looks like some sharp action on the over. All right, I guess for now I'll hold off on an official play on the over 6, although I did bet that one. The Kings are an okay offensive team, though, aren't they?
Oh, they're really good. What's going on here? They're fire, Pete. Velarde, Lazat, Kaliev, they're on the third line. If they're on the third line going up against Ottawa's third line, expect one of those guys to score for sure.
All right.
I'm comfortable with the Kings here. As a Senator diehard here, I got their farm team in my backyard too, guys. I really think this is a King spot. I do.
Okay, I'm not going to be I'm not going to be a chicken shit, but I will be a little bit safe with my pick. Officially, I will actually take the over 5.5 at -155 at Pinnacle. I'll take LA Ottawa over 5.5 -155. I think that's okay. All right, so let's move on. Next game, St. Louis and Islanders. This is an interesting one, right? St. Louis on a back-to-back loss to the Rangers last night. They've now lost 4 in a row, 6 of 7, just losing, and their defense absolutely awful. They've given up 4 or more in 7 straight games. That is unbelievable. Then on the other side, you have the Islanders who are playing well, doing it with a great defensive game. They've won 5 out of their last 7, overall good and winning, and they play a tough defensive game. Isles are a big favorite here, which makes sense. I was thinking maybe a sneaky play with the under just because that's what the Islanders do, and they do it well. And St. Louis has got to be embarrassed right now. Even if they lose this game, probably they just want to come in and not get blown out again. So I was thinking that maybe a shot with the under, but it's a low total, 6, juice to the under, and I'm just not sure if St. Louis is capable of playing a game that finishes with 5 or fewer goals. What's your take on this one, Gogi?
Oh, St. Louis, they got a lot of problems, Pete. I thought I had problems, but St. Louis, hold your beer. They're just in shambles. Their coach has pretty much said, their goalie's pretty much got to stick to stopping the puck, not trying to trip people or start fights with people on the bench. There's Benner there. I don't know what's going on with Bennington. He's off his rocker. He's completely lost it, but he's not going tonight. It's going to be Greiss. So Greiss, this is his former team. If you guys know, Greiss played for the Islanders for a good while. So he's going up against his former team. This is one I'm going to add in my money line parlay. I'll let you guys know right now. I'm going to take the Islanders. I still don't think St. Louis. I think they're not playing good all top to bottom. It's just not. If you can't make crisp passes, if you're not skating, if you're not just all around, maybe they come around here against the Islanders. But what? You're going to beat Sorokin, who's got a plus 14.78 goals saved above expected. At home, Pete, listen to this. At home, Sorokin's 5-4 with a .951 save percentage and a 1.67 goals against. And he's 5-4. It just shows you that Islanders can't score enough for him. Kind of like when DeGrom was with the Mets and he couldn't get runs. That's kind of like Sorokin at home here. Greiss, he's 1-3 on the road, guys. He's .897 save percentage. So I really don't see I don't see St. Louis just putting it all together again for 60 minutes. It's a tough hockey team to beat. Also, here's another just bombshell of a stat for St. Louis. They got a 56% penalty kill, Pete. 56% penalty kill.
Is that good?
Well, that just tells me that they I don't even know if this is a hockey team that should be NHL if you got a 56% penalty kill in the last 10 games. Going up against a 32% power play in the Islanders too. I had to add it. I thought this line would even be maybe a little higher. I hope it wasn't a trap, only being -163, to be honest, Pete. I thought it could be -190 on a back-to-back for St. Louis. And they had it.
They're still a professional hockey team. They got to be pissed, and at least for one game, they can fix that, right? No?
Well, you know what? The only upside is Bennington's not in net, I would say. That honestly, with that guy in net, the team's pretty much every time there's a goal that goes in, they're just kind of skate, kind of giving the old glance by, and then kind of just, you can see there's problems with Bennington there. I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone or if they trade for another goalie. I don't know why they get rid of Husso, but guys, I just back to back to that game against last night. Who did they play there? They played I just watched the recap there. They played
Rangers.
The Rangers, yeah.
Rangers.
The Rangers. Yeah. It was a brutal game too. It was a physical game. It was a tough game. Now they got a back-to-back in the Islanders.
All right, I'll tell you what. I think for one game they can get not quite blown out, and I agree with you. I think that the Islanders are going to be great defensively as well. I'm going to take a shot with St. Louis Islanders under 6.5 -138. I'm going to buy up to 6.5. That's current line of Pinnacle under 6.5 -138. Gogi.
I would agree there, Pete. I really would. Looking at what it's last 7 games, they're 6-1 to the under the Islanders. So defensively, they're sound. I gave you the save percentage for Sorokin, .951, and that's in a 9-game sample size. So this guy's top 3 goalie in the league. St. Louis have just problems top to bottom. Only bright side is here you're getting Greiss going up against his former team. So that under does make sense, Pete. It really does.
Yeah. And maybe I'll even add on the first period under because why not? I mean, if St. Louis is going to be good defensively, they'll probably be better in the first period than in the other periods, right?
Yeah. I no goal first 10 minutes, so maybe triple up. I don't mind. I really do think this is a tighter affair.
All right. You know what? It's ballsy taking unders with St. Louis, but I'll take that one as well. First period under 1.5 at plus 111. That's the current line at Pinnacle. First period under 1.5 plus 111. All right.
Three blind Grice in the Blues blow. Mr. DR24. That's comment of the day right there.
As far as the money is concerned, nothing on the side as of right now. The majority of the tickets are on the over.
Really?
Well, that's just the tickets, so that could be complete idiots. No sharp action as of right, but yeah, the majority of the tickets are coming in on the over as of right now. Yes.
Well, you know what? The big issue, that first period, maybe I feel a little better. That penalty kill, 56%, it's not good. But I swear to God, a lot of these problems with you should never swear to God. What am I doing? But a lot of the problems I have with St. Louis start with their goaltending. They've allowed 6 goals in their last 3 games. But with Grice and net going up against his former team, it's kind of like stars are aligning for an under and for the St. Louis to, play for Grice. He's going up against his former team, for Christ's sake. So, put your best foot forward here. And the Islanders are a strong defensive team. I like the under. I'm going to add him on the money line parlay, though. New York.
Okay, let's move on. Florida, Winnipeg is the next game. Florida, 2 straight wins after a bad run. They had been struggling. Now 2 nice wins. And Winnipeg, playing well, generally a good team winning. They've won 4 or 5 or something like that. This one on the overnight line, I did bet the Florida team total under 3.5 at a favorite line, but Hellebuck is just really good at home. Teams rarely get to 4 on Hellebuck in Winnipeg at home. And I know that Winnipeg is starting games poorly. I actually had them against Anaheim, and they went down 2-0. And I was like, I should not bet hockey unless I talk to the big guns to confirm my bet. Then of course they came back. You got to assume they're gonna try to start out better here and not get in a hole and be better defensively. So the Panthers closing out the trip, trying to get a third straight win here. They do have some injuries as well. So I was definitely leaning Winnipeg and definitely bet Florida team total under. What do you think?
Why? I don't get this line, to be honest. Why is this line not more in the favor of Winnipeg here? I'm really you know what I mean? Like, I hope this isn't a trap, but with Florida missing Barkov, he's out from what I'm seeing. He's not playing. Gudas is also out, big, tough defenseman. Lundell and also Hornquist. So they're missing 4 guys that are important pieces to this hockey team. If you ask me, I don't like their depth's okay, but this has been a very up and down hockey team, and you're going up against one of the better between Sorokin and Hellebuck. Pete, those are probably the 2 best goalies right now. He's got a plus 15.43 goals saved above expected. Now Florida does have a 32% power play in the last 10 games, but 2 wins, 5-1 each against Seattle, Vancouver. This is not easy travel schedule for them too, Pete. This is their 5th road game out west. So if you look at what Florida's done here, they've started off at Edmonton to Calgary to Vancouver down to Seattle. Now they're coming back up all the way back over to Winnipeg. So it's Jesus, that's quite the road trip. You're missing 4 top players too. Winnipeg, they don't really have any injuries from what I found out here. Ehlers, he's been out for a while, should be back in 6 weeks. I had to take Winnipeg here, guys, at plus 100. Is that still available? Yeah, plus 100, Pete. I don't see why not at this line here. Knight's going to be going, and his numbers have been decent this year, but I'm going to watch this game closely because I kind of haven't believed in Knight as much. From what I've seen from him, he's a smaller goalie too, so he kind of reminds me of Saros a little bit. He should be tested here. Kind of lean to the under too, Pete. But I think Winnipeg get it done. I like that Florida team total under too.
Okay, yeah. I like Winnipeg. I might double up and add them -1, but officially I'll just start with Florida team total under 3.5 -135. Current line at Heritage, Florida team total under 3.5 -135. And as far as the money, yeah, very small line value on Winnipeg according to the site we look at. That could change, but as of right now, very small line value on Winnipeg. And yeah, I really want to take a shot with Winnipeg as well and double up. But
well, why don't you
now I'll hold. Go ahead.
Why don't you do this, Pete? Because I'm going to tell you, I want that Florida team total under 3.5. What was it? Minus 130.
135 current line at Heritage.
Perfect. You know what? I'm going to tell you, brother. I think I have to take that right now with the injuries, with the spot, with top goalie in the league. It's only 135. They got to get 4 goals to beat you.
Yeah. Not bad, huh?
I like it, Pete. You're like you're picking them out like a freaking strawberry picker.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm feeling good, picking good. All right, next game. This is an interesting one, Mr. Gokster, because Toronto, Dallas, right? This is I had a lot of bets on the overnight lines and a lot of strong opinions. This is the one game where I really didn't know, didn't have a good feel on it at all. It also happens to be the game at the site that we look at for line value with clearly the biggest line value on the card as of right now. One of these sides has about half line value, the biggest line value on the card as of right now, according to this site. What? Sorry?
Dallas.
Let me finish my intro. I know it's exciting. So yeah, I was 2 seconds away. Yeah, so it's an even line both ways, roughly. Toronto is off of the loss to Tampa Bay. Before that, they had won 5 in a row. Dallas off the high-scoring loss to Minnesota. Kind of a 50-50 team overall. I was like, I don't know about side or total, but again, half line value on which team do you think, Gogi?
Well, I apologize for cutting you off there, Pete, but I'm going to go with the Texas Stars or Dallas Stars.
Wrong. Toronto, half line value, according to this site that we look at. About 2/3 of the tickets on Toronto, 90% of the cash on Toronto, and according to this site, as of right now, half line value on Toronto. What do you think of that, Gogi?
No way, Pistol. You're joking to me, right?
Look, I'm not the most honest person in the world, but I would never lie about line value, reported line value, and what side the supposed sharps are on. Yes. That's one thing that is sacred to me. I would never lie about that.
And I know that from you over a lot of years.
Yeah.
So I don't know how is that the fact? These guys are missing. Their defense. They're missing Jamie Benn. They're missing Jordy. Jamie Benn, Brody, Muzzin, Dahlstrom, Riley. They're missing 5 defensemen. Pete, who the hell do they have left? Like, honest to Pete here. Like, I just don't know what they're gonna do. Offensively, okay, they're fine. They got Hall, Sandin, Lindgren, Mete, Timmins. Oh, God, Connor Timmins got called up. Okay. It's just how do you take Toronto here? This Dallas team is one of the hottest teams offensively, in my opinion, in the league. Right away, guys, I want to take this one. Murray, yeah, he's looked great, but I've seen this from Murray. Like, yeah, he's missing 5 of his top defensemen, too. How long can Murray withstand this? 10-2, team total over Dallas. At home, Pete. They're 10-2 to the over, team total over. So right away, I'm going to want that. I don't have the line. I'll get it for you guys in a second. But Dallas team total over 3.5. I'm going to take that. Power play for Toronto has only been 19% last 10 games, 25% for Dallas. Power penalty kills are both 80%. But with those defensemen out, guys, I can't take Toronto here. Yeah, they look great in their last few games. They're coming off that loss against Tampa Bay. But it doesn't get any easier here with Dallas. So,
yeah, I have no explanation for you. Andrew G says one possible explanation for why there's inexplicable line value on the Leafs is they're 7-0-3 last 10, playing good. So that's one possible factor that you could consider. They're playing good. I don't know. RVD 420 likes the over 6.
Yeah, I would agree with that over 6. Ottinger, I still think I like what I see from Ottinger. This is a big test for him too, with Marner coming into town. You also have Marner and Robertson, 2 of the they have these crazy goal streaks going. I believe Marner's like 19 right now. He broke the record for Toronto most goal streak as a Toronto Maple Leaf. So, and then you're looking at Robertson. I think he's at like 20 point streak or 18, something like that. So there's probably 2 of the hottest hockey players in the league. This should be a fun hockey game to watch. So I do, and I like give me Ottinger 9 times out of 10, even 10 times out of 10 over Murray, Pete. A team that's not missing their five defensemen, and you're telling me line values in Toronto's favor. I can't believe that.
All right, well, I'm gonna pass on this one. You got anything official here?
They're coming off a 6-5 loss too after winning their last few hockey games here. How many games? Yeah, I'm making it official. I'm gonna 2 ways here. I'm taking 3.5. I'm gonna take the team total over on that. I just gotta find that for you, Pete. I've been humming and hawing. But I also got the money line guys on Dallas plus one, minus 105 now, minus 105. So
okay,
unless there's a better number, Pete, I'm going to take that and the team total over on Dallas here, guys. I can't take Toronto. I was going to wear the Toronto sweater, but I put the hat on because this is a Toronto spot. I mean, a Dallas spot, in my opinion. Team total overs plus 115 in my book here, unless anyone can find something better.
Dallas? All right.
Well, Dallas, yeah.
Yeah, plus 130 at Pinnacle, so give yourself that, and minus 102 for the money line at Pinnacle right now.
Oh, thank you, Peter.
Yeah. Okay, we got two more games. I'm just going to pass. Two more games, Mr. Gokster. Let's get through them relatively quickly because we got to get to NBA with Trotlab. I'm dying to see if Trotlab thinks the Pistons have that. They got to have betting value today. We'll see what he has to say. Carolina, Anaheim, a very interesting game here. A massive road favorite. Carolina, kind of inexplicably, at least to me, struggling for a while, but now they've won 4 in a row, playing well. Offense seems to be it looks like it's doing a lot better. And Anaheim just losing, right? Lost 12 out of the last 14. Just Anaheim just getting gashed. But Carolina, a massive road favorite. I don't know. What do you think? Anaheim's defense is just really porous right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm still hung up on this Toronto game here. I hear Billy here. He's talking about Murray's save percentage. I get it. I'm on Dallas here. It's just kind of a gut feel, you could say. Carolina, Anaheim, Ronta and Gibson. Both goalies, Pete, I would say are subpar, to be honest. I think that's the only issue with Carolina. It's been like that even since last year. It's their goaltending. 1-7-2, though, 66% penalty kill for the Ducks. That's the problematic. They've lost their last few. Their offense is fine, though. I just was pulling up their stats here, and they got Terry, Zegras, Henrique, Strome, McTavish, Fowler, all double digits in points. So the couple of guys they have out right now for the Ducks are Grant, Lindstrom, Klingberg, and Comtois. So they're not huge offensive players, more so defensive players. I'd say more gritty players, if anything. Grant and Comtois, Klingberg on the back end. This is one I'm gonna include it in a money line parlay, Pete. I don't see Carolina. I think they're gonna want to finish this road trip off strong too. It's a Ducks team that there could be goals. That would be my only way the Ducks can win a game, Pete, is 5-4, 6-5, 4-3. They have a tough time stopping the pucks right now. I'm gonna take Carolina here. Just let's see. I think they can finish this road trip off strong. Actually, sorry, no, it's not going to be over yet. They have to go back east to the Islanders and then against Detroit until they come home. So this is one I hope it. You know what? What do you think? I think I might leave Carolina. What do you guys think in the chat, real quick? I know we only got a couple more minutes left, but
yeah, I personally really don't know. I can tell you as far as the money is concerned, this is just right now, Gogi, so don't get too excited. An extremely teeny sliver of line value on Carolina, according to this, despite being such a huge road favorite. Now those bets might have come in when the line was a little bit lower, but as of right now, the big bets are on Anaheim. But the line value, according to the site we look at, is on Carolina as of right now. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to pass on this one.
Yeah, I Cheshire and Billy, yeah, it could be a stay away, could be a spot where they lay an egg. Carolina puck line there from Big Daddy. You know what? It does kind of feel maybe your first period, both teams to score might be the play here. Just thinking off the top of my head, I don't like these goalies. Scoring shouldn't be an issue. Even though I like Carolina's defense, I still think their defense is fine, but Anaheim loves to go fast. Coming off 3 losses, Anaheim hasn't won a game more than 3. It's been 2, 4, 6 losses in a row. They've only scored more than 3 goals twice in those games. They've allowed at least 4 goals in 6 of the last 7. So, first period, both teams to score is where I would look here, Pete. Maybe even an over. I'm gonna leave Carolina off. You know what, guys? I agree with that. I'm gonna leave Carolina off. So I got one more included in the parlay so far. We have Tampa Bay, New Jersey Devils, and the Islanders.
All right. Yeah, I will admit that on the overnight line, I did bet the over just a little bit at 6 minus 108, just because I didn't understand why it's so low, and that's why I didn't bet it bigger, and it hasn't moved, which is interesting. So, but I'll hold off on that one as an official play as well. Last game on the card, I did bet, though, Montreal and Seattle. Montreal, of course, on a back-to-back, huge high-scoring OT loss last night, and Seattle playing well off a loss to Florida, but they had won 6 in a row before that on the overnight line. I was just like, this is just a no-brainer. Don't overthink it. Obvious play on Seattle, even as a big favorite. They're not usually a big favorite, but they were last night. I pulled the trigger on it, -1. At the time, the money line was -210 or 211 or so. but gotten bet up 50 cents since then. So I beat that line move, but we know what that's all about, right? Ski Profit killed the closing lines yesterday. Had a losing day anyway. Seattle, this line has moved 50 cents in Seattle's favor. So if it closes here, Montreal -2 is obviously the play, right? What do you think, Gogi?
Well, it's all you can ask for, right? Pete just beat the line movement, right? If it beats you, it beats you, right? But that's
all you can ask for is to win your fucking bets.
Well, that too. Well, I think it's I don't know. It's like golf or something. You hit one right down the fairway, but you got a bad bounce. You know what I mean? It's like if you're capping the game right, you got the line movement in your favor. You didn't win the game, but you know what? You're on the anyways. You're right, Pete. I'm the amateur. Sorry, let me keep going.
Ski Profit had 18 points of closing line value last night. Losing record overall in the day. Unreal.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on here. Yeah, Seattle, Montreal. That game against Montreal last night. Geez, Louise, that was quite the. I don't know how they come back here with the win for Montreal. Also, injury-wise, Gallagher looks like he's still out there at least 2 weeks. Savard and even Monahan now. Monahan day-to-day. If anyone in the chat has something about Monahan, love to hear it. But if he's out too, Seattle coming off that 5-1 loss against Florida just didn't play a good hockey game. This team's better than that. 7-2 in their last 10 games. It's the 55% penalty kill, though. That's a bit of a red flag there. But again, Seattle coming off that Montreal coming off that back-to-back. I can't trust them here. I really can't. They do have Allen and net. I think he is the better of the two. They kept Montembeault in for that whole 5-6 goals. So yeah, 7.47 goals projected here from Swiatek. What's going on, Eric Swiatek? A long-time low bagger there. Shout
out Eric Swiatek. Go ahead.
Yeah, good to see you, buddy. I'm gonna have to lean towards. I do think there can be some goals here. They scored against Vancouver. They scored against Edmonton. Seattle's going to be included in the moneyline parlay. Short and sweet, guys. I got a 14 moneyline parlay. It's going to be at plus 306 now. Fortunately, some juices came in on the Devils here. But I do think Seattle get this one done, Pete. They just stay out of the box. And for a team to go to the box, the other team's got to be skating. They got to be, you know what I mean? You got to force – the other team's got to be playing hard for you to take a penalty. And back-to-back, I think it's going to be opposite. I think Montreal takes the penalties and Seattle gets on the power play. So,
all right. Well, yeah. I bet this one on the overnight line. It's moved 50 cents in my favor. And if there's anything dumber than beating closing line movement and losing the game, it's taking the shitty number and losing it on a game where there's been a big move. But I'm going to do it. Seattle -1, -190. That's the current line at Pinnacle. I got a better line. I think I got 150. I don't remember what I got in the overnight line. But right now, -190, -190 at Pinnacle. I'll take it. And that'll be my final official play on the day. And you're taking it as well in your moneyline parlay, right?
Yeah, it's included in the moneyline parlay, Pete. Comes to plus 306, guys. Tampa Bay, Devils, Islanders. Yeah.
All right, so let's just review the NHL picks, and then we'll get to NBA with Trotlab. Once again, I'm on the Blackhawks. First period plus a half -113. Doubling up on Columbus. Columbus team total over 2.5 -114, and Columbus -1 plus 469. LA and Ottawa over 5.5 -155. St. Louis and the Islanders doubling up on unders. Under 6.5 -138, and the first period under 1.5 plus 111. Florida team total under 3.5 -135, and Seattle -1 -190. Gogi, run down your official plays for us, please.
All right, Loshak. So I got LA Kings money line plus 100. I also got their team total over. That came in at I had their first period both teams to score plus 140. I got Winnipeg guys plus 100. Dallas -105. Columbus first period money line plus 175. What else we got? Florida team total under 3.5. And we got a nice money line parlay for you guys. Tampa Bay, New Jersey Devils, the Islanders, and Seattle, all at plus 306. I'll tweet out my action, guys. Eagle 47 there just below. And follow me for all golf, hockey, football, pretty much you name it. I'll cap it. Korean baseball. We got it all, baby.
Hell yeah. And Gogi, in the top of the show, I was just kidding about your NFL contest being luck. That's not luck either. Mr. Oh, and one other thing.
I don't know what you're talking about, Pete. Sorry, was I doing well?
Small line value on Seattle. I forgot to mention that. According to the site we look at, despite the huge line, small line value on Seattle right now, according to the site we are looking at. Gogi, awesome card. We'll see how it turns out. We'll talk to you again next Tuesday.
See you Tuesday, brother. Be good.
Okay, here we go. Let me see. Here we are. Let me just refresh everything here, change my my notes here and everything. We got a small NBA card coming up with my man Trotlab. I'm very happy to see what he has to say about this one. I'll tell you, we got some 3 interesting games here. I'll tell you right now, Detroit has got to be a bet. We'll see what Trotlab has to say about that. Comment section. Please comment as well if you think Detroit has bet. They've got to have value. Please welcome to the show, Trotlab. Trotlab. Hell yeah. Don't talk about Detroit until we get to that game.
Let's get it. Yeah, we can wait.
We got to have value. How you doing, Trotlab?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm feeling good. My son's running around here, making noises, of course. He has to make his appearance. He's very excited. We're on today, Tuesday with the Loshak.
We're on with the value with Detroit. He thinks there's value with Detroit.
Yeah. He thinks there's value with Detroit probably too. Yeah. When you said that earlier in the segment with Gogi, I was like, "Yep, you know it, bro." We're capping Tuesdays. We're capping Detroit. It seems like they play Tuesday every season. Like, you know what I mean? It just seems like that's what it is.
This year that's okay because Detroit. I love these teams, and you see this. As I said this before, like NBA has changed so much, but one thing that has not changed is these bad teams that are big dogs every game that maybe don't have that much value at home, but on the road just have value game in and game out. So the fact that we're capping Detroit every Tuesday, I'm happy about, even though I don't remember what happened last week. Maybe we had a loss with it. But anyway.
I think we stayed away. Away from that one for sure.
But 3 very interesting games. Again, very interesting games going on. Let's start with Lakers and Cleveland. Look at this. The Lakers covered 8 out of their last 10. Look at that. All overs as well. Cleveland also, doing well. They're off a bad loss at the Knicks. Although I did have the under in that one. That was not my own capping. I was just tailing people that I like and trust. I did have the under on that one. They've been a dead under team for a while. Under an 8 out of their last 9. And the Lakers, the last 3 games were all big overs. That was at home. So this is different. And of course, once again, LeBron coming back to Cleveland, and Cleveland a favorite here. Man, I don't know. I mean, Cleveland's an impressive team that you want to bet on, but with the way the Lakers are playing, getting points, LeBron coming back to Cleveland, I don't know, man. I have no idea on this one, but if you gave me a free bet right now, I'd probably throw it on the Lakers. What do you think, Trotwell?
I kind of understand that. The Lakers right now, they're number 1 in offense over the last 5 games. Number 1 in offensive rating, which is crazy. Like you said, they've been going over the total. The slowest pace in the league in the last 5 games owns by the Cavaliers. Cavaliers own that so far. They've been holding opponents to the lowest points in the paint. Points period at 93.4 points in the last 5 games, and the shortest 3-point percentage at 29% in that last 5 games as well. So they've been holding it down on the defensive side without one of their best defenders in Jared Allen. He may play today. That's kind of getting me scared to jump on this Lakers. I love the Lakers, man. I'm rooting for them as a fan. LeBron coming back to Cleveland sounds good. But as far as this Cleveland team, they are elite. I say they are elite, especially when they are full. The Lakers, they have been able to score. They're getting a good contribution from Westbrook. He's not turning over the ball as much, getting guys involved. Lonnie Walker is going crazy. Troy Brown Jr. is pretty much a cornerstone as far as in the rotation. And AD, I mean, if we're talking right now, he's showing that him being healthy, he's the best player on the floor. It shouldn't matter if Jared Allen's in or not. AD should get his. That's the problem for me in this whole equation, because he's going to play. LeBron's going to play. Now, the Cavs are 9-1 ATS at the house as well.
Yeah.
But maybe Jared Allen comes back and throws it off, though, right? So maybe we want Jared Allen in, and we take the Lakers later on, and we get more value in the Lakers. But what do you think the money is on right now? Are the money the Lakers? Everybody like the Lakers, right?
I can tell you, as far as line value at the site we look at, nothing on either side. I can tell you that right now, nothing on either side. Which is, there's usually at least a teeny bit implied line value on one side of most of these games. This one absolutely nothing, Trotwam. The bigger bets coming in on the Cavs. About a third of the bets are on the Cavs, and about 50% of the money on the Cavs. And then let me check another site here. Supposedly some sharp action on the Cavs. That's just as of right now. And then let's quickly glance at the total. Nothing on the total. All kinds of confusion on the total as well. Bigger bets seem to be coming in on the under. But some sharp action maybe on the over. The sites I look at, the market as of right now is not really saying anything. All kinds of confusion on this game, Trotweb, as of right now.
and I want to go back to the well with 80 rebounds. That's just start off there. He's been hitting over the 12.5 rebounds, 5 out of the last 7 games, averaging 13.4 rebounds. The problem again is like, if Jared Allen's in the lineup, that's possibly going to take away rebounds from him. I think he's a great player. I think he's going to continue to prove that he's the best player right now. He's on that wave. He knows he's on that wave right now.
Yeah.
So if he continues to play and go crazy, I mean, if he drops 40 points against a Jared Allen team that, you know what I mean, that he gets him back, Evan Mobley and all those guys, it's really going to be cemented. They just beat the Bucks. They beat the Cavaliers. It will look really good for the Lakers. I understand that narrative, but the problem here with me is just as far as this Cavaliers team, they actually are pretty good. And then I believe, like you said, coming off of a loss to New York in a dogfight, you know, possibly getting your guy back, I think they are in a good spot to kind of beat the Lakers up here. So it's tough for me to bet this game, but I'm probably going to be a fan and maybe taking the 80 props if Jared Allen's out.
All right. Well, Billy Friedrich likes Cavs third quarter. Dan Kelly, shout out to Dan Kelly, says if Allen plays, he can neutralize AD and the Cavs can cover. If Allen doesn't play, a huge drop-off to whoever backs him up. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, in the NBA, if there's one thing I've really learned in the NBA this year is just like you really got to wait for the lineup announcements. There's just so many surprises that you can't know at this point in the day. There's Coin. Coin says whichever team is resting players, back them. Seems like a good strategy. The Cheshire Cat says the line is +5.5 is right. And AOD says LeBron 26.5 points is going to smash the over on that one. Okay. Anything official for you? You're just going to pass, right?
It's just we got to wait for the injury report. Again, once Jared Allen is announced in, we got to make the decision there. But maybe AD props if he's out, and maybe Lakers first half. Again, they've been covering in the first half, the best team to cover in the first half. So I wouldn't be mad at that either once Jared Allen's out.
And there you go. Dan Kelly saying Mitchell's props over tonight. All right, that's something to think about as well. All right, here we go. Trotwam, let's move on. Now, you know, I'm not the greatest NBA spreads handicapper, but like a couple of times a month, it seems like there's just one play that's just super obvious. And maybe I'm wrong, but this looks like it's one of them, right? Detroit, of course, great ATS on the year, despite being a bad team. They've cooled off a bit recently, but that was all on a homestand. Before that, they had a road trip where they covered 5 out of the 6 games. Now they're on the road again, getting a big number, 8.5 on the overnight or whenever like this morning, I think, when I bet it. And Miami returning home from a 4-game trip. You know, overall, they've been better recently, ATS, but overall on the year, they've been a bad bet. You know, they're on a back-to-back, and it just seems like this one has Detroit and Detroit first quarter written all over it, but maybe not. What do you think, Trotwab?
I agree. That's what I was saying earlier. Like, it seemed like we get to cap these Tuesday games all the time, and they always have a Detroit Pistons, even if it's just 3 games on the card like it is right now. Pistons have covered 4 straight meetings against the Heat, so they do have the historical trend kind of in their favor, and mostly the recent trend as well, because the Heat hasn't been good on the at the house as a favorite. 3-7-1 ATS. And 1-3 without rest as far as the second half of a back-to-back. So they only covered once on the second half of a back-to-back so far this year out of the 4 opportunities. This is the 5th opportunity with the way that game did shake out yesterday, you know, losing with a team that didn't have John Morant. Pretty much just allowed them to shoot really well, didn't play any good defense. You got a Detroit team that doesn't have any real talent, I don't think. Like, as far as they do have talent, but they don't have that star guy. They don't have Cade coming in here. They don't have that, it is what it is. As far as Jaden Ivey, I do like Jaden Ivey. He's a rookie. you know, he could have a great game here, but they don't really have talent like that. I am going to key in on a guy for their team, though, because I do agree that with you. I think the Pistons is the side here. If I'm betting anything, I'm not laying it with Miami. They haven't been able to prove it on the road. I'm sorry, at the house as a big favorite like this. So I'm not going to think that they're going to do it again against a team that is scrappy. You know, the Pistons are scrappy, and this is a great spot for them. I'm going to go with Marvin Bagley, though. He's been over the 11.5 points, 7 of the last 8 games, averaging 13. If I'm not 16. I'm sorry. I just had it up here. I clicked out of it to look at something else. My fault. Yeah, he's been killing, averaging 12. Let's talk about the season. Averaging 12.9 for the season, and in the last 6 games, he's averaging about 15 points so far this last 6 games there. So I think he's going to be one of those guys. When I watch this team, it does seem like he's making a lot of those shots that I'm like, okay, that's the talent that we're looking for. So that's the talent I believe that's going to be presented today against a team that did have Bam play bad. So I expect Bam to play pretty well in this game because it's not that bad of a matchup there for him. But I think that this is going to be a grind out game too. So I don't think that this is going to be a double possession win for the Heat. It's going to be closer than 8.5 for sure. So I'm leaning 8.5 with the Pistons as well. But officially, we're on Marvin Bagley over 11.5 points at -102. That's the official play for me.
That sounds good to me, Trotwam. Yeah, as far as the side is concerned, as of right now, again, this could change. Nothing on the site that we look at, although the bigger bets do appear to be coming in on Detroit, about 10% of the tickets and about 25% of the cash on Detroit. And let me look at a couple of other sites. Yeah, according to this other site, supposedly some sharp action coming in on Detroit, and the site seems to be the under. The total has moved down a couple points. That's what I was thinking as well. You know, Miami's coach is probably going to want to have a better defensive game inside for this one, and money appears to be coming in on the under, and I would be. That's the way I was thinking as well. I don't know if I want to put a bet on the under as of right now, but you know what? Whatever. You can't be scared. I'm going to triple up on this one, Trotwam. I'll take Detroit first half +5 -105. I'll take them full game +8.5 -108. And I agree. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. I'll take Miami team total under 114.5 -115. That's the current line at Pinnacle. So I'm going to go 3 ways on this one.
I love the first half look as well, man. 4-1 ATS the last 5 road games in the first half as far as the Pistons.
Yeah.
I'm right there with you on the first half. So I think I am going to probably double up in this game and take the Pistons first half and full game here with you. I think I can't finish this show and know that I didn't give it out and I still end up betting it. So I got to just get this out because I'm going to bet this right now. Yeah. So it's at 5 for me. Yeah, it's at 5 for me for the first half. So I'm going to take the 5 for the first half for Detroit, and then 8.5.
I already bet both of those. It hasn't really moved since I saw it, and we'll go for it. Let's see what people are commenting. Here you go. Dan Kelly says my charts show a play on the Heat fourth quarter, which usually means they're way back at the end of the third quarter. Yeah, I would take Detroit first quarter as well, but I don't really want to quadruple up or triple up on this one. Billy Friedrich, Pistons been good ATS on the road. The Heat have not been good ATS at home. We know about that. Yeah, Sharon Pulliam likes the first half under 113.5. I like that as well. The under seems to be the good play here. Sounds good. All right. If it loses, I'll be okay because I bet sized appropriately, as you should all be doing as well at home. 3 official plays for me, 2 official plays for Trotwam on that one.
I'm on 3. I'm making 3 official as well. So I'm taking Marvin Bagley over 11.5 points -102. Then we took the +5 in the first half with the Pistons -110 and the +8.5 -110.
Okay.
So I'm locking in both of those as well.
All right, sounds good. Trotwam. All right, now let's move on. Dallas and Denver, another interesting one. I don't know. I think I'm going to hold off. Dallas, of course, on a back-to-back. They blasted Phoenix at home last night, but it was a blowout win. So a lot of their guys got some rest. Although they are in a stretch now where they've been playing a lot of games. Dallas, of course, was awful ATS to start the year. Now they've covered a few in a row, but again, they're on a back-to-back now in kind of a tough stretch. And Denver got to be a little salty, right? They're coming off of 2 straight bad roads, straight up and ATS losses. And before that, they had been winning and covering. So my first thought is probably Denver rolls here. And you look at Dallas, when they've been a road dog as good as they are, getting this many points, they had a couple of road ATS losses with the line in this range. So my first thought is Denver, but I don't think I'm going to bet it or make an official play. What's your take on this one, Trotlab?
I was thinking the same thing. I'm thinking taking advantage of Dallas early on is probably the way I want to go. They're 1-4 ATS in the first quarter of their last 5 on the road. So I was thinking just taking Denver early. We know how good of historically the last few years as far as how good at the house they are in the first quarter as far as Denver. Has been a play that I been cashing a few years ago. I haven't really been betting it this year, so I think this is a good opportunity to do that, knowing that they're off a back-to-back. They haven't been able to cover off a back-to-back as well, Dallas, 0-3 ATS. So I think they're pretty good. As far as this Denver team, this is their 9th home game too. You know what I mean? They haven't had these many opportunities to get that mile-high effect on teams, and I think this is a good spot for it. And honestly, I think this is a short number. That's kind of what's getting me scared to take Denver the full game because they do trick off leads a lot. Going against Luka, he becomes a Debo like we talked about it before. I wouldn't want to fade them full game, even though it is off a back-to-back with the elevation. It should mean more to fade them full game than it is early on. I just think that Denver has just been good early on so far throughout the Jokic tenure in the first quarter. I think we get a good spot here. So that's what I was thinking here. I haven't bet that yet, but that's the way I was thinking. So I kind of agree with what you're saying, brother. Yeah,
some interesting stuff coming in. North Ender said it's up to 5.5 now at most books, which was true, except for a few seconds ago. And I refreshed Heritage, which is a pretty good barometer of the market in general. It was 5.5 there. Refresh. Now it's back down to 5. So someone with some influence, bet at Heritage on Dallas. And let's see what the money has to say. Yeah, according to the site we look at, very small line value on Denver as of right now. About 60% of the tickets and 65% of the cash on Denver. Small line value on Denver. Bigger bets are coming in on the under. About 40% of the tickets and 70% of the cash on the under. Let me look at a couple of other sites. One site, big bets by far coming in on Denver, but not necessarily anything sharp. And the under is the way things are going so far right now. Although I can tell you for sure with these NBA sides and totals, supposed sharp action varies wildly in the same game, hour to hour and like between morning and the evening. So just because an NBA total has supposedly big sharp action coming in on the under at 12 noon and Eastern time, that could be the opposite by 6 o'clock Eastern time. So, but as of right now, the under seems to be the way to go with the Mavs and Denver. Let's see. Coin leans under. That's what. Yeah, Brian Dance says under is the play here. Maybe under is the play. What do you think about that, Troutman?
Now that makes sense too. This is a low total for the Denver team.
Yeah,
this is a pretty low total. As far as I didn't check their pace. I'm doing it right now.
Sharon Pulliam likes the first half over. Official, let's cash.
So Denver is 27th in pace over the last 5 games. And you have 19th in pace as far as the Mavericks. Very interesting there because the first thing I think to go to is the effective field goal percentage after that, because if they're making shots or not, And Denver is making shots and Dallas is making shots, 4th and 5th in effective field goal percentage. They are pretty good at scoring the ball, though. So as much as they're slowing down the pace, they are still scoring. So it's kind of scary there. But, number 4th in offensive rating, 6th in offensive rating for Dallas. So it does kind of scare me off the over. I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, it does make sense being that we expect the Dallas Mavericks to have some tired legs in this game. So it does make sense.
Yeah, although they did rest guys, but still, yeah. And then Denver, whenever a team is like off of 2 bad losses like that, and then they come back home, it depends on the team. Sometimes they move it offensively, but a lot of times they're just like, all right, the extra effort comes on the defensive end. I'm gonna tail this and make it an official play and bet it after the show. I'll make the under 222.5 minus 108 an official play in Dallas, Denver, even though it's so scary to take any under in the NBA right now. Even still, under 222.5 minus 108. Make that another official play on today's NBA card. That's not too terrible, right, Trotlab?
I love it. I love doing these shows with you. I love doing these shows. I love it.
It is. It's fun as hell. Despite the fact that that's a testament to how nice it is to talk to you, that I love doing these shows covering a sport that I suck at when it comes to capping. It's still super fun.
I don't think so. I think we're on the right side with Detroit. It's going to be Detroit basketball tonight.
Dan Kelly says Luka didn't play in the fourth quarter of the past 2 games, didn't reach his points prop total. He might have to play the entire game.
Dan Kelly's sharp, man.
Implying that the Luka over might be worth a shot.
I love you, Dan. Just want to let you know.
All right. So once again, Trotwam and I are taking sides on Detroit. My official play is again Detroit first half +5 minus 105. Detroit +8.5. Full game minus 108. Miami team total under 114.5 minus 115. And Dallas, Denver under 222.5 minus 108. Trotwam, review your official plays for us again, please.
Yeah, the Lakers, we're going to wait until the news about Jared Allen before we make anything official there. But we are official in Detroit. Marvin Bagley over 11.5 points, hit 7 of the last 8 games. So over 11.5 points for Marvin Bagley, minus 102. Then we took Detroit first half and full game, +5, minus 110, +8.5, minus 110 for Detroit basketball tonight.
All right, that sounds good. I'm just going to check next Tuesday to see if Detroit is playing. No. Oh, we got 5 games, though. Boston, Lakers. Wow. That's going to be Phoenix, Houston. That's an interesting one. Golden State, Milwaukee. So next Tuesday is going to be fun.
Yeah,
stressful. I don't know where we're going to find value.
They're always stressful to me too, though. So it don't matter.
Too. All right, Trotwam. Thanks so much. Tell us again what all your shows are each week, where everyone can find you.
Yeah, man. You can find me here on Pub on Mondays, NBA Pub with the guys, Babano, Ski, and Dutch. Also here Tuesdays. Also here with Loshak, and then Jimmy the Bag on countless times. We never know when that happens. And then also I do a show on Who Bangin' Sports Talk on YouTube as well. So follow me on Twitter, Trotwam on Twitter. Peter Loshak, you already know, man. It's always love. Appreciate you, Jose, as well.
Right on. See you next Tuesday, Trotwam.
Beautiful. Hello, Peter.
Beautiful. All right. Well, yeah, not a bad. Every show I'm like, that was fun, but then I'm like, God, the pick's got to win though, or at least break even, and then it'll be the bow will be on it. You know what I'm saying?
I feel the same way about my Cappers contest picks. Oh, these are fun making these picks, and then Sunday comes around, I'm like, oh, this is less fun now.
On the other hand, if you're having an absolutely disastrous, shitty run and you're still only 2 points off the lead in a multiplayer contest, bird's eye view, that says something very good about you, right? Keep that in mind.
Hey, yeah, I just need to survive the month and walk away some cashola.
Is that winner take all, or is there is it?
It's like a little breakdown. Top 7 get paid.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Maybe if I get any cash, maybe I'll do something fun with.
Peter. Well, this is after this turn, but I already told you I'm going to Vegas. So Vegas end of the month. So you're more than welcome to be there. I'd hate to see you there.
Yeah. No, it sounds good, man. I could take you out to dinner because I want at Caesars. I have a $500 free dinner, $500 credit for any of those restaurants.
Yeah, so wine and dine me, Pete. I'm ready.
Yeah. We could go. That's a lot of fucking money for one meal. So we could go and have a
eat like kings.
Yeah, for 1 hour of our lives, experience what it's like. All right, you want to go over college basketball? I mean, I said in the beginning of the show there were 2 bets I made. I don't know if they're value bets, if they're good bets, but I made them. I took the over in Oakland, Syracuse, and I took over in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Chattanooga. Let's see if those lines moved at all. I think I got 144 in the Oakland game. Now it's 144.5. Yeah, I would probably still endorse a play on that one. And the Wisconsin Milwaukee, 148. I got 146. I'd probably still take it at 148, but I would be upset about, nervous about it landing on 147 or something like that. I'll endorse both of those plays, though. The Chattanooga game over 148 and the Syracuse game over 144.5. Let's check the comments section and see if anyone has to say about
Billy has
Friedrich.
plays in there.
Yeah, I can't really say anything. I don't want to say anything else about games I haven't fully looked into yet, but those are plays I can share. 2 college basketball totals.
Any Thursday night look? They're asking for the football game. RVD 420 wants to know.
No, I have not even looked at the NFL yet for this week.
Well, yeah, we want to know what's your cap and schedule like, Pete.
Well, now the college football is done, or with bowls, it's different. It used to be college football Sunday evening, do the whole card. Now it's a little bit more. I sort of like glance over college basketball, try to snipe. If I have time and if I'm well rested, I'll do the NHL card. If not, I'll skip it completely. NBA, of course, pass every day.
Yeah.
I hit second half lines in college basketball. That's what I do a lot right now. So that takes up the evenings, and then NFL. I kind of just as a play appears to me as something I like, I'll bet it as the week moves on. You know what I mean? Some I bet early, and then others I bet late. Just as the week goes. And if it winds up that I have no bets in the NFL for a week, fine. That week was a pass. Okay. And then, of course, to make sure that Saturday night doesn't come and I haven't made my picks, I get my picks in on Pub Sports Radio Thursday night. And then if I want to change any of them between then and Saturday, I do so. And that's pretty much my week.
Oh, I love it. That's a lovely week. It's a lovely week. Well, Pete, I hope to see you soon.
And then people are like, well, when do you see your kids? I don't have kids. When do you see your wife? I don't have. When do you see your girlfriend? I don't have a girlfriend. Then they're like, oh, okay. Now I understand why Loshak is so much better at capping than me. He's got a love in his life.
Pete, we all know you and the MILFs, though. We know. Yeah. We know.
Yeah, I'm just doing that for effect. I work other stuff in here and there. All right, though. Good show. It's possible I'll be on Thursday, but definitely no guarantees. I have to see what my schedule is and what I will.
I'll see you Thursday, Pete. In my head, you're already there. In my head, I can already picture. And by the way, it's going to be very press conference-esque. So I hope you're ready for the non-answers.
Sounds good. All right, let's see if there's any other comments here. DC Capper likes Illinois, Texas under. I didn't bet that, but I was feeling that. I was thinking about that, and kind of like an Illinois plus 2.5 as well. But I haven't bet that under yet, but I was definitely thinking about it for sure. All right, I think that wraps up today's show. We'll be back next Tuesday and do it all again.